All right, here is the video for lesson 10.02, a independent practice. In this lesson, we're going to work with something called the triangle sum theorem, which basically says that if you look inside the triangle, we have three angles, three corners. The measurement of each angle, if you add it up, is always equal 180. Okay, that's the whole idea of the triangle sum theorem. Add the three angles inside of a triangle and it will give you 130. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the triangle sum theorem and I'm going to find how much is the angle GEF, which is this angle here that is shaded without number. So let's work this out. So let me get my screenshot, and basically what you're gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna find how much is this angle right there. And you can use the calculator if you want. So I'm gonna use my calculator here. So here's my calculator. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add these two angles. So I'm gonna add 58 with 74. You can see I got 132. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 132 from 180, where the 180 came from. All three angles of the triangle add up to 180. So how much is my angle GEF, the one that I'm pointing with the arrow? 48. Okay, that's how we do. That's how we use the triangle sum theorem to find a missing angle. Let's do another one. So let's do another problem. So here is another triangle, and they're asking you to find this angle right here. See, because the one on the top here, you can see is 18 degrees. The one on the bottom here is 21.5 degrees. So we want asking us to find that one. Again, just use the calculator. First, add the two angles that you have. So 18 plus 21.5. You can see I got 39.5. And based on the triangle sum theorem, all these three angles together add up to 180. So I'm going to subtract 180 minus the answer that I got up here. So you can see it's going to be 140.5. Let's do another one. Now the next one here is quite interesting because be careful, there's three triangles in here. The little one, this one here, and the big one. So when you're finding the measurements down here, you need to make sure you focus on the correct triangle. So the first one they ask is to find angle ACB. Okay, so they're asking you to find this angle. I'm going to shade in yellow. So they're asking you to find this angle here. Look at the ACB. See? So they're asking you to find this angle here. But to find that angle there, I need to find out how much is this angle here. Because if you notice, I'm inside this triangle here, this one. So I have 42. They're asking me to find that yellow one. However, I need to know how much is this one here. Okay. Now to find this one here that I'm shading in green, if you notice the angle in green is adjacent to 102 degrees, to the angle that is 102. And those two angles together, these two together add up to 180 because those two angles are part of a supplementary angle. They are in a straight line. To find how much is the angle in green, I'm going to have to take 180 and subtract the 102 that I have. And you can see I got 78. So this here is going to be 78. And once I know how much is the green one, now I can find the yellow one, which is the one they asked me right here, ACB. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna take 78. I'm gonna add the 42, and that gives me 120. And to find the yellow one, I'm gonna take 180, subtract the 120, and you can see I got 60. So angle ACB is 60 degrees. Okay, so let me put the 60 here. All right, now we're gonna find angle CBA, which I already did. You can see it's the one in green, so that's gonna be 78. And now I'm gonna find angle BCD, which is the one that I'm gonna highlight in blue, which is this corner here. You can see, look, BCD. Okay, so basically we need to find out the angle I put in blue. Let me change the color of my pen. This angle there. Okay, now you can see we already have 47 and 102 because we're working with the smaller triangle. So basically, again, I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing all the time. I'm going to add the 102 with the 47, and then I'm going to subtract that answer from 180. Remember, in the smaller triangle, the three angles together add up to 180. So I'm going to subtract what I got from adding 102 and 47. You can see it's going to be 31. So look, I found all the three angles. All right, let's do the last problem. All right, so for the last problem, what we're going to do is we're going to use algebra. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to set up an equation. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And then once we set up the equation, all right, we're going to find the value of x. And then we can find the angles. Okay, so because at the end, I want to know how much is x. I need to find out x first because each of these angles is based on x. So what do we know? We know that these three angles together, okay, these three angles together, if you add it up, is equal to 180. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the angle I highlighted in yellow. I'm going to add the angle I highlighted in green. And I'm going to add the angle that I highlighted in blue. And I know those three angles together, okay, is equal to 180. And that's from the triangle sum theorem. All three angles together is 180. Now we're going to add the x's. Let's add all the x's. So I'm going to add this x with this x with this x. X plus 2x, that's 3x. 3x plus 2x, that's 5x. Now I'm going to add the numbers. So I'm going to add the 20, the minus 25. Okay, so using your calculator, all right, I'm going to take the 20 and I'm going to add negative 25. And you can see I got minus 5. So I'm going to put here minus 5. And all of that's still equal to the 180. Now I'm going to solve a two-step equation. What's the opposite of subtracting 5? The opposite of subtracting 5 is to add 5. Whatever you do on one side, you do it in the other. So we're going to get 5x equal 185. The next step I want to do is get rid of the 5 that is multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplying by 5? Oh, we're going to divide by 5 on both sides. Take your calculator and then 185 divided by 5. You can see that the x is 37. Okay, so the corner in yellow is 37. The corner in green, I'm going to have to do, let me show you in the calculator. It says there 2x, so I'm going to do 2 parentheses x, that is 37. And I'm going to add 20. And you can see I got 94. So this angle here is going to be 94. Okay, and now we're gonna find the one I highlighted in blue again in the calculator. It says there 2x minus 25, so 2 times the x, okay, minus 25. And you can see you got 49. So this angle here is 49. Now let's fill in these spaces. They ask you for angle OMN. Look, who is OMN? OMN. That's the yellow one. So the yellow one is 37 degrees. Okay. Now they ask you for M N O. So here's M N O. See, that's the green one. So that's going to be 94. And finally, NOM, as you can see here, NOM, that's the one in blue. So that will be 49 degrees. And that's it. That's how you do all of this. I hope this helps.